For too long, Africa has been a patient, not a doctor. Our people have waited for vaccines, waited for medicine, waited for mercy. That wait is over. Today, Burkina Faso stands tall. We have signed a $50 billion agreement with India not to beg but to build. We are constructing the first giant pharmaceutical industry on African soil. This is not charity, this is sovereignty. We will no longer depend on the West for our survival. We will produce our own medicine by our own hands. For our own people, Africa will heal itself. To our partners in India, we say thank you for respecting us as equals, and to the African youth, this is your signal. The future is not imported, it is built here with dignity, with strength, and with pride.
Africa is no longer waiting for medicine. It's about to manufacture it. In the heart of this pharmaceutical revolution, Burkina Faso. Yes, you heard that right. In a move that's set to rewrite the entire medical landscape of Africa, Burkina Faso and India have just signed a jaw-dropping $50 billion deal, the biggest of its kind on the continent, to build Africa's first gigantic pharmaceutical industry right in the heart of West Africa. In a future where Africans no longer have to rely on foreign aid for survival. By partnering with one of the world's leading pharmaceutical powerhouses, India, he is laying the foundation for a medical empire that will supply vaccines, antibiotics, painkillers, and life-saving drugs across all of Africa. This is not just about pills and prescriptions. This is about health independence, job creation, economic empowerment. President Ibrahim Traoré, the bold and visionary leader of Burkina Faso, has once again made history. AfricVibe News is here to break it all down, from the deal's origin to its massive impact on healthcare, economy, and Africa's global standing. This is not just news, it's a new chapter in Africa's story, and you're watching it unfold live. This will include. So grab a seat, hit that subscribe button, and let us take you inside the $50 billion pharmaceutical revolution that's about to shake the world. Just days ago, in a high-profile meeting between Indian and Burkinabe government officials, the ink dried on one of the most ambitious economic and health partnerships Africa has ever witnessed. The $50 billion agreement focuses on building Africa's first ever giant pharmaceutical industrial zone in Burkina Faso. State-of-the-art pharmaceutical manufacturing plants. It's not just hosting this initiative, it's co-owning it. Biotechnology research and development labs. We will become producers and exporters of health for Africa. This is Africa's pharmaceutical independence. Vaccination and drug formulation units. Packaging and distribution hubs for all of Africa. Vision, stability, resources, and a bold rejection of neo-colonial systems. India, which has long been referred to as the pharmacy of the world, is now investing heavily in exporting not just its products, but its technological know-how, equipment, and pharma expertise to Africa. In Burkina Faso, President Ibrahim Traoré boldly stated in a press address, "We will not just be consumers of foreign medicine." Some may ask, why would India choose Burkina Faso of all places? The answer is clear: leadership. In a strategic move, Indian pharma giants are setting up joint ventures with Burkinabe partners to co-develop medicine that fits Africa's needs, including anti-malarials, HIV drugs, and vaccines for diseases still ravaging the continent. To train the next generation of African pharmacists, researchers, and health engineers. Burkina Faso, under Traoré's revolutionary leadership, has taken drastic steps in the last year to nationalize its key industries, invest in education and research, remove exploitative foreign interests, partner only with nations that respect African sovereignty. The continent will produce them, regulate them, and distribute them on its own terms. India saw the opportunity and seized it. This isn't a small facility in the desert. What's being built is a pharmaceutical megacity, a self-contained industrial ecosystem projected to create over 250,000 direct and indirect jobs. The industrial park is expected to contribute over 18% to the country's GDP within the next decade, manufacture over 4 billion doses of vaccines annually, generate $12 billion in exports per year by 2030, cut African dependence on Western pharmaceutical imports by 45%. It will be constructed across several provinces, with a focus on using local resources, African talent, and renewable energy sources like solar and biomass. One of the most fascinating aspects is the creation of a biotech training university, which will be co-managed by Indian scientists and African academics. Let's break it down. What does this mean for the everyday African? A country that was once marginalized is now on track to become a medical powerhouse. Already, leaders from Kenya, Nigeria, and Rwanda have expressed interest in importing drugs directly from Burkina Faso's upcoming industry. Lower cost of medicine, up to 60% cheaper than imported drugs. Increased availability of essential medications in rural hospitals. Better supply chains, meaning fewer expired or counterfeit drugs. Social media is buzzing with hashtags like, "No more shall African children die waiting for shipments from faraway lands. We shall produce life here in Burkina Faso, and we shall distribute health with dignity." Emergency drug reserves for epidemics and health crises. Africans will no longer wait 6 to 12 months for WHO-approved vaccine shipments. This deal directly supports the African Union's Agenda 2063 for health sovereignty and the African Medicines Agency, AMA, which aims to harmonize drug regulation across the continent. Economically, this is massive. Burkina Faso is now positioned to become Africa's pharmaceutical capital. Local economies will boom from housing developments for workers, tech parks for health startups, transport infrastructure funded through the India-Burkina Faso Health Corridor. From dusty fields to high-tech laboratories, Burkina Faso is turning dreams into steel, science, and self-reliance. And let's not forget the revenue generated from exporting medicine to West African countries like Mali, Niger, Ghana, and beyond. This deal isn't just about health. It's about becoming a global player. Western media has reacted with what can only be described as silent shock. While some applaud the partnership, others in the West are concerned that Africa is moving away from the pharmaceutical monopoly controlled by the global North. But African nations are watching closely, and many are lining up to partner next. India's Prime Minister called it a landmark for South-South cooperation, signaling a new global order where the global South trades among itself, lifting millions out of poverty and dependence. In a powerful speech that's now going viral, President Traoré declared, "No more shall we wait for handouts of expired drugs." His speech has inspired a movement. Hashtag Pharma for Africa. Hashtag Burkina Rising. Hashtag Africa Heals Itself. Hashtag Ibrahim Traoré 2025. Traoré is being called the health liberator of Africa in African youth circles. This is bigger than medicine. This is proof that Africa can lead in high-tech industries, in research, in biotechnology, and in manufacturing. With partnerships based on respect and mutual benefit, like this one with India, Africa is no longer a market. It's a player, a producer, a power. Burkina Faso's pharmaceutical megadeal sends a clear message. Africa is done begging. Africa is building. You've just witnessed history in the making. And here at AfricVibe News, we'll continue to bring you the truth, the vision, and the rise of a continent that is no longer silent. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because what's coming next is even bigger. This is AfricVibe News, your #1 channel for African transformation, innovation, and pride. Until next time, stay bold, stay African, and stay woke.